Hi guys, I'm Sam, and today I want to show you how I built the 12-foot tall entrance to my school's Halloween dance. So, what I built for our school's dance is a replica of the Wizard of Oz house after it touched down after the tornado. This was because our school's dance was themed Wizard of Oz, so it seemed only fitting to make the house of the witch under it. This was critical because I had to make it something that allowed it to be abundantly clear that it was Wizard of Oz, and I honestly think the red ruby slippers made all the difference. So, on to the build. The first and arguably most difficult part of it was designing the house. Now, if you were to go back and watch the movie, you would see that there's no clear shot of the house damage, which meant that I had to kind of infer for what it looked like just through this one shot. From that, I kind of just laid down a few sheets of plywood and cut out what I thought it would kind of look like. And in order to get the tilted look while maintaining a stable roof, I just cut out the door frame and window frame crooked and cut some plywood from the bottom instead of physically making the entire house crooked by making the plywood crooked. This allowed for it to be extremely strong and stable despite it looking like it's going to fall over at any moment. So, getting back on track, after cutting it out, I flipped over the plywood and built the structure on the back, which for this I just followed the outermost points of every piece of plywood with 1x3s, then built a square structure of the 1x3s inside that outer layer. After this, I was able to prop it up and screw it against my fence in our side yard area. Once it was propped up, it was time for the fun part, which is designing it. For this part, I painted and cut up plywood to work as the siding and also used my spare 1x3 pieces to make the borders around the window, door, and the roof. In putting up the siding, I made crack lines everywhere. There was 2 separate plywood pieces so you could break down the set and transport it from my house to the school, and it also just helped it look more like it was in a tornado. After putting up the siding, it was looking good, but lacking and far too new, so I mixed wood stain with water in a spray bottle and sprayed it on. I then used the rag to smear the stain and make it look worn. I honestly had no idea what I was doing for the aging, so I'm glad it worked out so well in the end. After aging the house, I then got extremely lucky with finding a door and some old curtains at one of my dad's job sites, which really helped out with the aesthetic. After putting this on, the house was built, but there was something severely lacking, which was the Wicked Witch of the East under the house. For this, Amazon was my friend, as I was able to find the witch's legs online. At this point I was done, but still had a day until the dance, so instead of homework, I decided to work on the witch's legs and in animating them. Now, I know that they don't exactly move in the film, but I wasn't trying to make it look exactly like the movies. I was trying to make it look cool, so I screwed the witch's legs onto a piece of plywood and tied fishing wire to the legs. I then connected that to a motor which spun, effectively pulling the feet toward it, which then made it look like the legs are moving up and down. This ended up working extremely well, and actually, to my surprise, worked the entire night of the dance. I also then covered the wood below the legs with astroturf and surrounded it with fake plants to give it a cool effect. So that's basically it. In the end, I felt that this project turned out extremely well, as did my peers, and I hope this will inspire some of you guys to build something bigger and better. And lastly, thanks for watching. Please like, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe.